I've always considered myself a dreamer with a heart full of goals, and I'm sure you probably do as well. The problem is that for most people, these dreams remain just that: unfulfilled aspirations floating in a sea of daily struggles. The gap between where you stand and where you want to be may seem to widen with each passing day, leaving you feeling stuck and disheartened. Well, today I'm going to discuss a skill that you can use to help you get moving toward the version of yourself and the version of your life that you want. Welcome back to Savvy Psychologist. I'm your host, Dr. Monica Johnson. Every week on this show, I'll help you face life's challenges with evidence-based approaches, a sympathetic ear, and zero judgment. Today, I'm going to discuss the Build Mastery skill in dialectical behavior therapy, or DBT. This skill is focused on increasing a person's sense of competence and effectiveness in order to combat feelings of helplessness and hopelessness, which are common in individuals with a host of mental health concerns. But even if you don't have a bona fide mental health diagnosis, not being able to accomplish the things we want is a hit to our self-esteem and can lead us to feeling inadequate. Building mastery involves engaging in activities that make you feel competent and in control. It's about doing things that give you a sense of achievement, even if they are small or seemingly insignificant tasks. The key is to engage in activities that are challenging enough to provide a sense of accomplishment, but not so difficult that they lead to frustration or failure. The steps to practicing Build Mastery as I teach them are straightforward, but require consistent effort. Here's a general guide on how to approach this skill. Start small. Choose activities that are manageable and not overly challenging. The goal is to ensure success, not to set yourself up for failure. Small successes build confidence. Identify activities you enjoy or value. These should be activities that you find interesting or that hold personal significance. It could be something related to hobbies, work, learning a new skill, or daily tasks. Set realistic goals. Break down larger tasks or goals into smaller, achievable steps. This makes the process less overwhelming and helps in tracking progress. Engage regularly. Consistency is key. Engage in mastery activities on a regular basis, even if it's just for a short period each day. Regular practice reinforces the sense of achievement. Challenge yourself gradually. Once you start feeling comfortable with simpler tasks, slowly increase the challenge. This helps in maintaining interest and further building your skills and confidence. Mindfulness and presence. While engaging in the activity, practice mindfulness. Focus on the present moment and the task at hand, rather than letting your mind wander to past failures or future concerns. Acknowledge your successes. No matter how small the task, it's important to recognize and acknowledge your success. This helps in building a positive self-image. Reflect on your experience. After completing an activity, take some time to reflect on what you did, how it made you feel, and what you learned from it. This reflection can provide insights and encourage future participation in mastery activities. Balance, challenge, and skill level. The activity should be challenging enough to keep you engaged and interested, but not so difficult that it leads to frustration or feelings of incompetence. Seek feedback. If appropriate, getting feedback from others can be helpful. It can provide a different perspective and help in improving your skills. Here's an example to illustrate how someone might practice the Build Mastery skill in their daily life. Here's the scenario: Ebony's journey with Build Mastery. Ebony, a 30-year-old graphic designer, has been struggling with feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. She often finds herself overwhelmed by stress and anxiety, especially at work. Step 1. Starting small. Ebony decides to start with something manageable. She loves cooking, but often resorts to ordering takeout due to her busy schedule. She decides her mastery activity will be cooking a new recipe once a week. Step 2. Setting realistic goals. Ebony chooses recipes that are not too complex, but still new to her. She sets a goal to cook every Sunday evening, a time when she's usually less busy. Step 3. Regular practice. Every Sunday, Ebony spends time in the kitchen trying out her chosen recipe. She finds that this routine helps her feel more structured and focused. Step 4. Mindfulness and presence. While cooking, Ebony practices mindfulness. She pays attention to the chopping, the smell of the ingredients, and the sizzle in the pan. This helps her stay in the moment and reduces her anxiety. Step 5. Acknowledging success. After each cooking session, Ebony takes a moment to savor her meal and acknowledges her accomplishment, no matter how the dish turns out. She takes photos of her dishes and shares them with her friends. Step 6. Reflecting on the experience. Ebony reflects on what she enjoyed about the cooking process, how it made her feel, and what she learned. She realizes that cooking is not just about the food, but also about creativity and self-care. Step 7. Gradually increasing the challenge. As she becomes more comfortable with basic recipes, Ebony starts experimenting with more complex dishes. She even starts baking, something she always found intimidating. Step 8. Noticing the changes. Over time, Ebony notices a shift in her confidence. She feels more accomplished and in control. This newfound confidence starts spilling over into her work, where she begins to take on more challenging design projects. Result. Through Build Mastery, Ebony not only develops her cooking skills, but also improves her self-esteem, reduces her anxiety, and finds a healthy way to cope with stress. Cooking becomes a therapeutic activity for her, bringing a sense of joy and achievement. This example illustrates how choosing an activity that is enjoyable, setting realistic goals, and practicing mindfulness can help someone feel more competent and in control, embodying the essence of Build Mastery. What is a small challenge that you want to work on this year? You can contact me via Instagram at KindMindPsych or via my email at psychologist@quickanddirtytips.com. The Savvy Psychologist is a Quick and Dirty Tips podcast. It's audio engineered by Steve Rickyberg, with script editing by Brandon Getchus. Our podcast and advertising operations specialist is Morgan Christensen. Our digital operations specialist is Holly Hutchings. And our marketing and publicity associate is Davina Tomlin. Follow Savvy Psychologist on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's all for this episode of Savvy Psychologist. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.